everybody. How are you all doing today? So, I hope that you are doing fine and I hope that you had a good day. So, are you ready for our lesson? Okay, so today the topic or the chapter that we'll be having is subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so first, I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay, first, what you need to do is log in using the aplusstudent.com and you log in with your email and your password. And after that, you just click on your name. Okay, so these are where the names are. So you just click on your name and then language arts. So you go down to where the chapter is, click on the chapter, and then our chapter is subordinating conjunctions. Okay, all right, so we have only one lesson under subordinating conjunctions, and then we will go through it today. Okay, so what you need to know first is what subordinating conjunctions are. Okay, so first of all, you need to know that subordinating conjunctions introduce the dependent clause in a complex sentence. Okay, so subordinating conjunctions introduce the dependent clause in a complex sentence. Okay, and then the dependent clause tells you about the other part of the sentence and cannot stand alone. All right, so let's go over it again. Subordinating conjunctions introduces the dependent clause in a complex sentence. Okay, so it introduces the dependent clause in a complex sentence. Okay, the dependent clause tells you about the other part of the sentence and cannot stand alone. Now, the dependent clause cannot stand alone, and they tell you about the other part of the sentence, what the sentence is all about. Okay, so usually when you want to begin like a dependent clause, if you need to begin, or most times the dependent clause starts with a subordinating conjunction. Okay, so you could have a sentence and then you have independent clause and dependent clause in the sentence, but then the dependent clause can stand alone, but the independent clause can stand alone, but the dependent clause cannot stand alone. And they always begin with subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so we have some examples of the subordinating conjunctions here. So some of them are after, before, as, while, until, because, since, unless, although, and if. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight them. Okay, so these are examples of the subordinating conjunctions that we have. So we'll just go down to the notes and then, yeah. Okay, so now I'm just going to write all the subordinating conjunctions that we have because we will need to like make sentences with them each. If you want to interact during the lesson, all you need to do is just send me sentences for each subordinating conjunction. Okay, so we have to practice them and then we listen together. Okay, so yeah. So first of all, we have after. So next we have before. We have ours, while. All these are subordinating conjunctions and they are used for dependent clauses. Okay. can take them if you need to write them in your book. You can write them, okay? If you want to take a picture, just so that you always remember them, you can also take a picture. And if okay, so we have 10 subordinating conjunctions here. And like I said, they are used for dependent clauses, okay? So they always introduce your dependent clause. And I'm sure that you know dependent clause are, okay? So the dependent clauses are like um sentences that cannot stand alone, like some sort of support and all that. So the dependent clause talks about the other part of the sentence and cannot stand alone. Some common subordinating conjunctions that introduce the dependent clause are this ones, and we've already written them. We have some examples that we've true, but first of all, we need to make sentences with the subordinating conjunctions, okay? So first of all, we will just make some sentences. And yeah, if you have any sentence, any suggestions, anything for any of the subordinating conjunction, you can write it on charts. We can make the class interactive, okay? So if you want to participate, just write them on the charts, okay? So I'm just going to write some few examples for you as well, and then you can take a picture after that. So for after, so we have the first one. After the power, just gonna, okay, so you just need to take note of the sentences. And if you want to share yours, like I've said, just share yours also in the chat box, okay? So, the power, and then you can take a picture of all the sentences when I'm done. Okay, so this is the first one, and then for before, back as hour. So if you have your own examples, like I've said, just contribute, okay? Okay, the darkest hour is for darkest hour is that before the dawn. Okay, so we have this one. Next of us is blank as you see here. You can stay. So now this is for us. As long as you want to stay here, you can stay. Okay, and then for while, I met a friend while you were in New York. Okay. So now this is for while. I met a friend while you were in New York. Okay. And then next of until. Okay. Sentence with until. So let's think about something until you. Okay. So let's go on with this one. Okay. So our Kurtz, they shouted a lot. And before our guest, our is that before the dawn. And then ours as long as you want to stay here, you can stay. And then while met a friend while okay. Alright, so we have the next one, the chorus. Our boss won't start the chorus. The battery is flat. And then since the rain has been continuous since this morning, so we have unless, So unless you will not crack the exam, you prepare well. Although, so unless we leave now, we will be late. So we have although, so yeah, she went to work. And if you don't hurry, we will be late. And then until last one is until. Okay. Um keep going until I tell you to stop. Okay, so everybody, now we have sentences each with the different kinds of subordinating conjunction. And then I'm just going to let you know that before every subordinating conjunction, you have a dependent clause. Okay, and without the subordinating conjunction, the dependent clause cannot stand alone. So we have examples here. Okay, that's why I wrote them down. So first one is after. So after is a subordinating conjunction, and then the power cards. Okay, most times the dependent clauses cannot stand alone. The power chords. So if you say the power chords, like okay, the power chords, what happened? What happened to the power? No explanation. Just the power chords. So standing alone, they need a subordinating conjunction, and usually the subordination conjunction always comes first. Now the darkest hour is that before the dawn. Now before. Okay, so now the darkest hour is that before the dawn. Okay, so when it's dawn, it's morning. Okay, so before is here, it's in conjunction, comes before the dependent clause. As long as you stay here, you can stay. So now these R's here, subordinating conjunction. So imagine when you have a sentence and you say, long as you want to stay here. Most of them don't make sense without the subordinating conjunction. So you need a subordinating conjunction to make the sentence correct and make the sentence make sense. So you need that as well. And then next is I met a friend while you were in New York. While you were in New York. So this is a subordinating conjunction joining the two sentences together. I met a friend, you were in New York. So now, if you just say you were in New York, is it a question? Are you making a statement or what are you saying? You were in New York. And then keep going until I tell you to stop. Now imagine that there's no until and then I say I tell you to stop. That sentence doesn't make sense. I tell you to stop, dependent clause. So you need to say until I tell you to stop. Our bus won't start because the battery is flat. Our bus won't start because the battery is flat. Because here, the rain has been continuous since this morning. The rain has been continuous this morning. So the subordinating conjunction always joins together the independent clause. Now you will not crack the exam unless you prepare well. Unless you prepare well. So dependent clause you prepare well doesn't make sense. Although she was ill, she went to work. So although beginning of the dependent clause. If you don't hurry, we will be late. If you don't hurry, we will be late. So these are examples of the subordinating conjunctions with cleared example them each. So now we'll move back here. Grass is green because it contains chlorophyll. Okay, so grass is green because it contains chlorophyll. All right, now let's move down. Okay, so the subordinating conjunction is because it introduces the dependent clause. So most of the subordinating conjunction always introduces the dependent clause. Okay, all right, so grass is green because it contains chlorophyll. All right, so let's move on here. Although she plays classical violin, Mrs. Christensen also enjoys listening to hip hop. Okay, and then that's the although then of the subordinating conjunction. And then moving forward, while Elizabeth was out, someone left a package on her doorstep. So while okay, so in general that's basically everything for the subordinating conjunctions. So take note again, they introduce the dependent clause in a complex sentence. The dependent clause tells you about the other part of the sentence and cannot stand alone. So these are the subordinating conjunctions. So we'll move on to the test now. All right, so we have 13 questions here from the test, and then we will try to do a few together. All right. Jenny ended her talk early since her audience looked drowsy. Jenny ended her talk early since her audience looked drowsy. So now select the subordinating conjunction. So since. All right. So this is it here. Then we should go to the museum since we have a season pass. Now we should go to the museum since we have a season pass. So are you picking go or since? So let's say that we pick go. So go is not, it's the one in blue here, but it's not a subordinating conjunction. So if ever you get any wrong and then you're trying to remember the subordinating conjunction listed, then these are the subordinating conjunction listed here. Thank you, Evangeline. All right. So yeah, in case you click on any answer and the answer doesn't make sense, yes, you have to scroll down and then take of the subordinating conjunctions again. Okay, and then I hope that you all took notes of this. So if you want, you can take a picture or anything just so that you see the examples. Okay, I'm just gonna give a few seconds so you can take a picture or whatever you want to do. All right, so moving forward, while Elizabeth was out, someone left a package on her doorstep. So wow. Now you have to answers in bold. So you have to be careful. While is part of the subordinating conjunctions, but someone is not part of it. So maybe you can be confused and then you pick someone. It is wrong, but while is correct. And then if we are lucky, we may glimpse a rare. bird. So if we are lucky, we may glimpse a rare bird. So if. Alright, so Burns was nervous, although there was no reason to worry. So although or there. So if you click on there, for example, you see that your answer is gonna be wrong because there here is not a subordinating conjunction. And then as you get anyone wrong, you just scroll down, read this through, and then you continue with your test. Okay, thank you so much. All right. All right, so I don't watch scary movies unless they are also a bit humorous. Unless. So unless it's a subordinating conjunction, but they here is not a subordinating conjunction. So if you're not careful, you might just eventually pick the wrong one. So you have to look carefully. Okay. So we have okay, let's move in here. All right, so grass is green because it contains chlorophyll. So now, is it because or contains? So obviously, it is because, right? Because is a subordinating conjunction. All right, so we'll move on to the next. Before we draw any conclusions, we should collect more evidence. So before, okay? All right, so now, unless we cooperate, we won't finish the project. Okay, so if we do not cooperate, we will not finish the project. Okay, okay. So before Scott was new, we encouraged him to sit at our table. Okay, so because okay, so I'm gonna these you have 10 for this one, and it's basically very easy. So you can try to finish up these lesson. Okay, so before we end, we'll just do a little activity. Please try to engage on the chart so that I know that you understand and then you're listening to me. Okay, so I'll just share the screen and then there's gonna be like empty spaces, and you just have to read the question and decide which one is the right subordinating question. Okay, or subordinating conjunctions. Okay, all right, so just hold on, I'm gonna share the subordinating conjunction. So we will just have a worksheet now. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen now. Okay, so we have a worksheet and it has like we can just literally like just click on the right answers. Okay, so if you click on any one, it's gonna show you if it's correct or if it's wrong. Okay, so first off, a subordinating conjunction connects a dependent clause to an independent clause. So we've said that before. So we have some example of subordinating conjunctions here. And yeah, you just need to click on the answers and then it's gonna give you the correct answer. Okay, so I hope that you guys will participate a little bit. If you know the answer, you can just send it on the chat and then click on it. Okay, so the first one, I click on if, but it's actually wrong. So if you make a mistake or you click on anything, it's gonna show you the right answer. So we were happy because we received the first prize. So it's not possible to say we were happy if we received the first prize. So this is just a worksheet to like refresh your memory and maybe let you answer the questions. So the next one is the people were listening eagerly dash the leader were speaking. So now the people were listening eagerly dash the leader were speaking. So if you know the answer, please just leave your answer on the chart so we can click and move on. Please leave your answer on the charts if you have any idea. Do you have any idea, or should I click on the answer? So if you have, maybe the people were listening eagerly, that's the leader were speaking. So what's gonna be your answer? Okay, so we'll just move on now to this one. So are we clicking on since the leader was speaking, or while the leader was speaking, or after the leader was speaking? So it has to be while. Okay, so while is correct. Okay, wow, thank you so much, Evangeline. And your niece, I'm sorry, I do not know that, but you just need to scroll down and they're gonna see the topics for grade 7 yesterday. Okay. Oh, it's fractions to decimal. Your grade 7 maths yesterday was fractions to decimal. Okay. All right. So let's go on with our English. Okay. So wow. Now, this is the place dash we were attacked. This is the place dash we were attacked. Okay, so now is it gonna be when, where, or while? Welcome, Eunice. All right, so is it gonna be dash when, where, or while? Where? Okay, thank you so much, Evangeline. All right, dash he worked hard, he failed. So is it although, or even if? Although he worked hard, though he worked hard, even if. So what's gonna be our answer? What is the answer? Is it gonna be although, though, even if? So is it even if he works hard, he failed, or though he worked hard, or although? So let's see. So although he worked hard, or even if, which one? Please choose. Okay, so we needed to choose two correct answer. Okay, so Evangeline said although, so we also have although and though. So although and though also is correct. Okay, so we have two answers. All right, so moving on, 5, that she is beautiful, she is not intelligent. Though she's beautiful, or as she's beautiful, or because, which one? So is it gonna be though she's beautiful, or she's beautiful because she's beautiful? So which one? So do we have beautiful or as? Okay, let's click on though. Okay, though she's beautiful is actually correct. And then um so yeah, let's move on now to the next one. You wait here, dash I come. You wait here, dash I come. Okay, do. Yeah, perfect. So you wait here until I come. Until. So this is until. And then number seven, she will not come that we compel her. Unless we compel her. So this is until you wait here until I come, or she will not come unless we compel her. Okay? So yeah. Alright, so there was a silence. Dash the guest had gone. There was a silence after the guest had gone, and then she began to cry that she had lost her golden chain because. Then, that you work hard, you will get the first prize. So, if you work hard. Now, she became angry that I had said anything before I said anything. Okay, so that's literally everything for the worksheet. We have all the answers here. So these are all sentences as well with the subordinating conjunctions. If you want to take notes, thank you so much for your answers, Evangeline. If you want to take note of it, you can just take a picture of it or screenshots or something so that you can go through it all later. So yeah. All right. So, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, please send your questions on the chat. And then I see. Okay, Eunice, I cannot find the seven. You just click on the past live stream, Eunice, and then you're gonna see it. Okay. It's just yesterday, one day ago. So you're just gonna click on live and then just scroll down. You will see grade 7 math fractions to decimals. Okay, so that's it. All right, so do you guys have any question? If you have any question, please send me your questions before we end today. Any questions? If you have any, okay, thank you. You're welcome. So, do you have any questions? So, would you set the table while I prepare lunch? So, it's while. Okay. Would my paragraph be better if I cut out this sentence? So if. All right. So, I'm just going to let you guys finish the remaining test. It's so simple. So, it's nothing so difficult. If you have any questions, you can me. Or, but if there's no questions, then we'll end. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Oh, no questions, right? Okay, so I guess that we're gonna end the lesson now. See you guys next lesson, and that's going to be next week. Okay, no, on Friday. Okay, so see you on Friday, and have a good night. Bye, everybody. Bye, everyone. Thank you. You too. See you soon. Bye.